Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today I am going to be making a backdrop for a friend. It is her daughter's birthday and she wanted like a photo backdrop. I will insert a picture of what she was looking for. She said she wants this on a little bit smaller scale. I assume that means width because there's a couch in this picture and you know, she's not going to be fitting a couch in front of it. So I think it needs to be big enough just for a couple of people to stand in front of. I am doing this on a budget. This is how I do all of my decor, is on a budget, especially party stuff. Who wants to spend a fortune on this kind of stuff? This only has to last for one afternoon for the party. So we are not using regular cardstock. I've got some paper that's just construction paper. They didn't actually have cardstock in just yellow, like a package of yellow, and we would have had to pay 50 cents a sheet for yellow, and that's so expensive when you're talking about how many are needed to make these giant flowers. We are doing yellow because it is her favorite color, the birthday girl's favorite color. And so I'm going to show you what we're working with and then how I put this together. So to start off, I have two of these. They're just like foam poster boards. These are actually from the Dollar Tree. And I have two of them. That's the width I'm going to try to make it. Now there will be flowers that will kind of hang off. So overall it will be a little bit longer, but this is the width, and it should be, it's probably about 6 feet wide, I would say. And that should be plenty to hold a couple of people in front of for a photo backdrop. And then I have a couple of different colors of yellow, like the picture, and then some brown for some of the centers of the flowers. Also able to pick up this black and white striped wrapping paper. I find that wrapping paper works really well as a backdrop, and it's so much less expensive than a tablecloth, an actual backdrop online, or even fabric. So that is what we are going to use.
So to start this process, I am going to turn these foam boards into an arch. And so I measured basically from one end about 6 inches out, and then I'm kind of just eyeballing this arch. So I'm going to cut this. Once I have it marked, I'm using a box cutter and I'm just scoring it through and then flipping it over and finishing the cut all the way through. And the piece that I take off of one board will be the side to the other board. I hope that makes sense. You'll see in just a second. But basically the pieces that I cut off of the arch, I'm going to use to make the sides of the rest of the arch. So, and I will eventually fix that little extra corner that's hanging off there, but then I'm using some packing tape and just securing these two pieces together. This does not have to be a perfect arch or even a perfect shape because the flowers are really going to make the shape. Next, I'm taking this little salad plate that I have and I'm just tracing out 3 circles on the board, and this is just where I'm going to place my largest flowers. So I wanted that kind of marked out so that I could work around it. I'm going to start with my largest flower first, and this is going to be a little bit off center. Ideally, you maybe might want it centered, but since I'm building this arch in 2 separate pieces just for the ease of travel, because I have to take this to my friend's house, I am putting it off to the center, like off to the side. I do have to fit this in my car, or if she comes and picks it up, she's got to fit it in her car, so it's just best if it's like easily broken down in 2 pieces. But I also didn't want to do all the flowers separate, like I said, because it will be easier for her to just put up on these boards. So again, I'm starting with the largest flower first, trying to put it as far in the center as I can.
Hey guys, we're back on day 2 of making this backdrop. It's taking a lot longer than I anticipated. I have made these big paper flowers before, but it was for like an event that I will probably talk about in a future video. And like I did it over a lot of time because I had a whole year to prep for it. So this is getting done in basically 2 days. So I'm probably a third of the way done. I'm going to show you the progress, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I'm doing to make these flowers. Basically, you can find a bunch of tutorials on this online, but I'll talk about it really fast. It's not hard. So let me just show you where we're at right now. Okay, this is what I have done so far. So basically 7 flowers, and this took me a few hours already. So it's a big project, but it still will be on a budget, so it'll be worth it once it's done. I don't know what I'm gonna do right here. There's a little bit of like yellow, like white that's coming through, so I might have to add some like random petals there that kind of match this and this. I'll figure that out maybe towards the end, or maybe I'll just do like a little flower there. And then I need to kind of build up this way and come down this way, and then come down this way on this side. So, but overall it's looking pretty good, I think. Hopefully I have enough paper. If not, I gotta go get another pack. Sorry in advance for the mess that's around me. Sometimes when I get into craft projects, everything else just is put on hold. So I have like a little bit of laundry to put away, and then actually most of this is involved in the crafting. So it's all involved. Anyway, I'll clean it up after I'm done with this. But, so let me show you really fast what I've been doing. I think I'll put a flower up here. So basically, this is what I'm doing with all the flowers. These are not hard to do. It's just really time consuming. Where's my scissors? Basically, I'm taking, depending on the size flower, I'm taking 6 sheets of paper, and you basically want small, medium, and large petals. And if you're going really big, you might want extra large petals. And for each layer, you want probably 6 to 8 petals, 6 minimum. And then if you're doing like the little center made out of the petals, you want double the little petals. So for example, if you're doing 6 petals per layer, you want 12, so that you can do like that kind. And if you're not, then you just do 6 petals, and then you create a little interior, I don't even know what that's called, stamen? Anyways, so all I'm doing is, I'm gonna do a small flower on this. I'm just taking 6 sheets of paper, I'm cutting it all at the same time. I'm doing 3 types of petals. One is kind of like a heart shape like this. That's like the heart-shaped petal. And then I have another kind where I'm just doing like a round petal like that. And then I have this kind, which I'm doing like where it points out. And that's probably my favorite. So I'm gonna do a round one right now, but basically I'm going to cut about a third of this paper off like this. And since this one's going to be more of a medium, you can go as tall as the paper, but since this is going to be more of a medium one, because I don't have a lot of room where I'm putting this, I am going to cut this down a little bit. I freehand all of these. I do not have a stencil or a pattern. There's not a lot you can do to mess these up. And then I just cut like a slit, and that's to be able to like pull it up. Anyways, with the same sheet of paper that I just cut that off of, I am going to cut another third right here. And I'm gonna go a little bit shorter than what I just did. And then with what's left, like as you can see, a third of it is kind of short like that. So I'm gonna just do a section. There's a lot better tutorials out there. I'm not gonna pretend like this is an actual tutorial because there's ways that people do it that's like really precise. It's also really time consuming, and this is already a time consuming project. So I don't wanna say I'm sloppy, but I don't take it that seriously because it doesn't make that big of a difference. So I just kind of like freestyle it. So I just cut that last piece in half, and I'm gonna go a little bit shorter on these. And these are gonna be my small ones. And then I will do the same on this. So this will actually be double the little ones. So I'll have 12 little petals. So I can do whatever interior I want, or I can use the extra little petals to fill in parts on the outside where I need to cover the white. So total, that's what I have for petals. And that's what, 30 petals for a flower, and I may use them all and I may not. And then what I do is I like fold them in, not super hard, just rounded like that. And then I take a pencil and at an angle, I roll the edge like that, and I do the same thing on the other. And I'm gonna do that for all the petals. And then I will place a bit of glue right here and I will pop that up. And the flatter you want the petal, the less you bend it, and the higher up you want it, the more you bend it, like this. So I'll do that for all of them except for 6 of the little ones. You don't want to curl those because if you're wanting to make an inside, you want to start with one like this and then you layer them like this. And you're going to glue them one petal at a time like this, and you build it like this. I have a lot of flower making experience from doing cakes, and it's not any different with paper as it is with cakes. So like I said, I'm really kind of easygoing about it. But there are tons of good tutorials out there if you're looking for more specific instructions. But this is what I'm doing for all the flowers, and I am just freehanding all of the petals, and then I'm gluing them directly on the board instead of doing individual flowers because I know that this is what's going to get hung. And it makes it a little bit easier because it's all like put together, so I don't have to set it up at my friend's house, meaning styling all the flowers. She can just stick the 2 boards up and it's done. So it's easy.
So here's a closer look at how I cut the petals. I'm taking 6 sheets of paper, I'm holding the paper horizontally, and then I am cutting 1/3 of that paper, and I'm using that for the largest petals. Then I'm going to turn the paper horizontally again, and I'm going to cut 1/3 off, and this will be the next size down petal. Each time I go to cut a petal, I'll turn my paper horizontally, and that's how I will work with it. So the next section, I will turn it horizontal again, cut off 1/3. This will be my next size petal. And then the last bit of paper that is left, I will turn it horizontal again, and I will cut it in half. And this will give me 12 of my small petals, and I can use these either to make the middle or to fill in the flowers wherever I think they might need a little bit of extra petals. So this is another way that I am making the inside of the flower. I'm just taking 2 sheets of paper and I am cutting a strip. It's probably about 2.5 to 3 inches wide. And then I am taking and cutting little fringes. So I'm going about a 1/2 inch to the edge of the paper and I don't know, maybe like 1/8 of an inch wide for each fringe. And I'm just cutting all the way down the piece of paper. I actually folded it in half, so I had to do less cutting because it takes forever, I feel like, to cut these. And then once those are cut, I'm going to roll them. So I'll take one of the sheets and I'll roll it just like with a bead of glue down the side of it. I'll just roll it pretty quickly and then I will attach the other one on it and finish rolling it. And then when it's finished, I'm going to take the edges of the fringe and pull those out to make it like this wide, I don't know what you would call it, this the center of the flower so that it's like wide and kind of puffy and round. So here is the finished arch. I love the way this turned out. I will insert a picture in just a minute of how the whole look came together once it was put up. But I just think that this turned out so good, and it was easy to do, just really time consuming, but also inexpensive. So if you're looking to do something like this, I hope that this tutorial helped you. If you like this kind of content, please leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more videos from me. I post every Tuesday and Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.